What's up, everybody? My name's Parasite. Welcome back to Challenging Celtic with Hearts. Today we have Rangers in the Scottish Premiership. Premiership's going pretty well. I would say things are going well, but they're also going terribly because we've had a bitter blow to our chances. You can see by the Hearts team news, Afonso Sousa is out with a broken ankle. He's probably out for the rest of the season. He might be back for like the last game, but that'll be it. And also, Musa Wage's out with a torn thigh muscle. He's out for like another month. So we're without two of our best players. I would say our second best player on the team in Afonso Sousa is out. That's going to be a bitter blow to our chances. It's going to be hard to beat Rangers and Celtic without Afonso Sousa and Musa Wage, but we'll eventually get him back. But definitely without Afonso Sousa, it's going to be hard to beat Celtic and Rangers. And it's going to be hard to beat whoever we got in the Champions League, too, because you'll see that here in a second. Not ideal. But the Premiership is going pretty well, though. I mean, everything seems to be going all right. Last game was the Arsenal draw, which was a good result, I think. We got an 83rd minute winner or 83rd minute equalizer by Jamal Musiala, which helped us get a point. We could have taken advantage of it against Copenhagen and gotten top of the group, but we lost 3-2, and we absolutely dominated them. Another loss where we were so much the better team. They had the better XG, but that's because they had a penalty. Other than that, they didn't really do much. They had 1 XG if you don't count that penalty. 15 shots to 4. They scored every single shot on target. It's just one of those games that you just get FM'd every season. You're going to have at least one FMing. This was our FMing to Copenhagen, and it cost us top of the group. Arsenal, of course, won, but since then it's been pretty good. We had the giant winter break because the World Cup was going on. I'll show you the results of the World Cup after I show these results. So we had some friendlies in there. But back to the Premiership, we played well. 4-0 against Kilmarnock. Inlandulu with a hat trick. Musiala with a goal. Those two have been just chef's kiss. Great. I think we lost Alfonso Sousa in training literally just before this game, too. Between the Midtjylland game and this Kilmarnock game. I think it's when he went down with that broken ankle. So that's unfortunate. St. Johnstone after that, another 3-0. Inlandulu, Musiala both scoring again. Inlandulu getting a brace. He's just stupidly good. So stupidly good. Livingston 2-0. Sutar and, of course, Dan Inlandulu getting a goal. So 3 straight games without conceding. So we started off pretty well. Defense played well. I mean, Kilmarnock's actually a good team, too. They're like top 5 in the league. So to get a 4-0 win over them was a really good result. Wasn't home, but still. St. Johnstone, Livingston, Ross County, not the best teams, though. So still good to get the wins. Ross County a 3-1. Inlandulu and Musiala again scoring goals. Inlandulu with the brace. Musiala with the goal. And then St. Johnstone in the League Cup semifinal, we went through 4-1. They scored an 80th minute goal for consolation, but we were already 4-0 up at that point, or 3-0 up at that point. Musiala, of course. Inlandulu, of course, getting a brace. And Jamie Walker with a beautiful free kick. So good win there to get to the League Cup final, which will be played against Celtic, because of course it will be played against Celtic. So yeah, we have that. But first we have Rangers. But before we get to that, I wanted to show the World Cup. This will be new for me as it is for you. I haven't looked at anything. I know who wins it. I know the results. I know who gets to the final, but I don't know how they got there. So Scotland and DR Congo knocked out Colombia in the group stage. That is huge. Scotland topping the group with Colombia. DR Congo is not the amazing team. They probably should have gotten through the group, Scotland, but DR Congo finishing second, surprising. Italy and Croatia getting through their group, no surprise there. France and Spain, no surprise there. Chile feeling behind, finishing without a single goal with a negative 15 goal difference. What happened to Chile? They are just not even in the race anymore. England and Senegal, that is an easy group for England. Good Lord, that's the easiest group England could have possibly gotten. Senegal, Iran, and Costa Rica. Argentina and Switzerland. Mexico getting knocked out in the group stage by Switzerland. Pretty big. Syria being the punching boys of the group. Belgium, Nigeria, Sweden, and Uruguay both not making it over Nigeria. That's surprising as well. Belgium topping the group is no surprise. Holland and the USA knocking out Germany. Germany finishing bottom of the group. What's wrong with Germany? They lost all 3 games to Japan, Holland, and the USA. Wow. Japan losing to the USA as well. Only win was against Germany. So USA lost to Holland, but beat both Japan and Germany to get through second in the group. Awesome. Brazil and Portugal topping the group. Not a huge surprise there. Poland, pretty unfortunate to be in that group. They were in Group F or even Group B, definitely Group D. They would have had definitely Group A. They would have had a chance to get through all of those, but Being put with Brazil and Portugal is pretty unlucky. So that's the groups. Go to the second round. It was Scotland beating Croatia on penalties. Italy beating Congo 1-0. France beating Senegal 1-0. England actually beating Spain. So they might have got an easy group, but they beat a big team in Spain in the knockouts. Argentina beating Nigeria. Belgium beating Switzerland on penalties, though. Holland beating Portugal. And USA knocking out Brazil, also on penalties. Let's go, USA. They're through to the quarterfinal of the World Cup. In the quarterfinals, Scotland beats England on penalties. What a game that would be. Scotland, England in a World Cup quarterfinal, and Scotland wins on penalties, because of course they do. France beats Italy on penalties. The USA beats Argentina to go to a semifinal of the World Cup, and Belgium beats Holland. So in the semifinal, it's going to be, I believe, France, USA, and Belgium, Scotland. And the winners are France and freaking Scotland. Scotland gets through to a World Cup final by beating Belgium 3-2. Who are the goal scorers? Brogan and McGinn. Actually, they were up 2-0 at one point, but then they came back, and then a penalty gives them the eventual winner. Dylan Turnbull. I'm guessing that's who that is. Dylan Turnbull? David Turnbull. Getting the winning goal to send Scotland to a World Cup final. USA, unfortunately, getting knocked out by France 2-1. How did third place go between Belgium and the USA? The USA won it 4-1, dominating Belgium. See who the USA plays. See who got their goals. McKinney, of course. Reina, of course. Of course, they're playing a position that Pulisic doesn't naturally play in. Like, he doesn't play on attacking midfielder that often. That's kind of where we want Reina to be, and he's not in the lineup, even though he did eventually score a goal, coming in for possibly Pulisic. But, I mean, you can't really discredit him. The formation did well. It got them to a World Cup semifinal. Got them to winning the third place game. They were third place in the World Cup without even really putting Pulisic in the best place for him to succeed. So that's impressive. But in the final, it was won. You might see over by past winners, kind of giving it away, but it was won by France. 4-1, but it took extra time for France to beat Scotland. It was 1-1 in normal time, and France scored 3 extra time goals, one by Coman, one by Lamar, one by Martial, and it ended up being pretty convincing. They absolutely dominated Scotland. It was not even a competition. I feel like Scotland did really well to get there, but they were outclassed when it mattered the most, pretty clearly. So that's enough for the World Cup. Now we got to worry about Rangers. So without Musawage and without Afonso Sousa, Nasi Univard comes in at left mid. Michael Smith comes on at right back. He's got like 3 long throws assists since he's come in to replace Musawage. That's pretty dang good. I mean, that wasn't really his concern going into the season. It was his lack of defensive ability, but I'll take those free goals. Other than that, it's the normal starting lineup. Saranic, Bate, Univar, and Lundulu. Jamal Musiala is now the starter. Marcos Leonardo hasn't played in a while. He hasn't deserved to play in a while. He hasn't scored nearly as much as Jamal Musiala. Musiala is on some really good form. So there's no reason to drop him. So yeah, Jamie Walker comes to the backup left winger. I'll have to register Univar for the Champions League, Europa League. That's what it is, for the Europa League, because currently he's not registered, but I'll need him without Afonso Sousa. So yeah, let's get into this match. Let's see if we can beat Rangers. That would put us in an amazing position, because again, I didn't really show the league table. We are 2 points behind them, but we have 2 games in hand. So we'll still, after this match, have 2 games in hand, but we could still be ahead of them with 2 games in hand. That would be huge. Celtic also have 2 games in hand, but they're like 7 points behind us. So we're in a pretty good spot. 11 wins, 3 draws, 1 loss. So let's get into the match. I'm going to say the media is getting a lot of credit lately, so go out there and put on a worthy display. Pump my fist. This is a huge match. Tell the team I have faith. They're inspired and motivated. Come on, inspired him. Of course, I lose it because I praised the strikers. That makes a lot of sense. Given the importance of the upcoming match for the 2 teams, there's incredible hunger from the Hearts fans to get a positive result. It's business as usual as far as I'm concerned, and we both handle it well. They give the same questions every single time. We're both professionals and used to dealing with pressure. Very patient possession game with this Rangers side. They're very good at it, so we have to make sure to disrupt them whenever we can. I'm not at all. You know what's coming. I've done these press conferences enough to know exactly what's coming after that question, because it's always the same question. All right. Hearts, Rangers, in the Scottish Premiership, for top of the table. We still would be able to get top with winning our games in hand, even with a loss here, but the win just puts us in such a good position. I want to win this desperately. Desperately. We'd be in such a great position if we win this match. Without Alfonso Sousa for the rest of the season, we're going to have to be pretty dang good. He was pretty unanimously our second best player. There's the long throw. There's the long throw goal. Michael Smith. That's his fourth long throw goal in like 5 matches. And they've all gone to Dan Nlundulu. Beautiful. I love long throws. They're so valuable. They still are broken in FM21. If you got a good long throw taker, which Smith, what's his long throws? 15. I think that's the minimum. 15 minimum long throws, and they can do the long throw. And they're deadly. Anything less than 15, and it doesn't even get in the box. Like, it's the edge of the box. Which is kind of weird, because 15, you can put it all the way to the goalkeeper. 14, you can barely get to the edge of the box. Clearly, they made a threshold for being able to do a long throw. But it's been a pretty even match. Rangers have more chances, but we've had the better chance. Nlundulu pretty much free shot on goal. Barisic is very deadly. He's got a very good set piece on him, and he's going to be penalized. Or he's going to get the penalty. That's definitely a penalty on Bate, whatever you want to call him. Of course, we had to give it away, and he's probably going to be the one to take it, too. No, Tavernier. Come on, Cone. Let's go, Cone! Philip Cone with the huge save. That's going to bloat their XG, but that save is going to bloat his rating. No? It's not going to be above a 7? He just saved a freaking penalty. And then saved the ongoing corner. Like, surely it's got to have like a 7.5 after that. If the striker gets like a full point of rating after a goal, after stopping a goal that was basically 0.8 XG, Cone should get a pretty big rise in his rating, I think. Oh, there it goes, 8.1. It just took getting to the next highlight. So 8.4 now for Cone. What a game. They have kind of dominated us a little bit. 8 shots to 3, 1.3 XG to 0.39. Of course, 0.8 of that XG of theirs is the penalty. We've got the possession lead, though. For a team that likes to dominate possession in Rangers, we've had the possession lead, even though I don't even try to maintain possession. If we can just hold on, stay defensive, we're unbalanced. I'm going to tell the team to don't get complacent. If we can just hold on, stay strong defensively, just keep repelling their attacks, maybe get a set-piece goal or a breakaway goal, something like that. That's a penalty, or a penalty goal would do. Let's see if Bates the best taker. 14 penalties, that's pretty good. He's motivated, I'll give him the penalty. I typically don't like to give penalties to players that don't have good finishing, but with those penalty levels, I mean, if you've got 14 penalties, I'll let you take it. And he scores it. And we are 2-0 up. Probably against the run of play. But Lewis Bates scores a penalty for us to go 2-0 up against Rangers. Huge. Huge game. Huge result so far. Now we just can't throw this away. They've had 8 shots. We've had 5. They were getting more into it the second half than we were in the first half. It's definitely a lot more even than the first half was. They are getting a decent number of shots, but so are we. The XG has flown to our advantage because we scored our penalty. But it should be the same XG, the penalty they missed and the penalty we scored. 72nd minute. Got some players tiring, but everyone's playing well. I don't see a reason to pull anyone off the pitch right now. I don't want to take Odasowi off. I guess I might take Odasowi off. He's on a yellow. He's tired. He is playing all right, but I trust Fabian Delph. He's a veteran presence. See if that'll help the team out. Odasowi's still a really young player, so even though he is a national team player for the USA, he played I think he started some matches in the World Cup, and he definitely came on as a sub in quite a few matches in the World Cup. It's good to see such a young player be such involved in a team that got to the semifinals of a World Cup. So that's pretty impressive. Building up from the back now. Nasi Univar, don't screw this up. Nice ball over the top for Nlundulu to make it 3 to end it. Oh, I thought... I was just about to say, of course he does, because he almost always scores that. But he misses. Hits the post. I do kind of need to take Nasi Univar out. He's been tired for a while, and he's on a yellow now. I guess Jamie Walker can come in. One more sub. The look to waste time with it here in a quick minute. Let's waste time. Should be getting the win in this match. Sarandis Bates on a yellow now, so I'll take him off. Andy Irving can come on. He has a 6.7 and he scored a penalty. He must have had a shocking match. He scored a penalty and still only on a 6.7? His rating must have been like a 5 point something before that. That is not ideal. Bates been pretty terrible this season, to be fair. He's had a few good games recently, but he's been terrible for most of the season. But Inland Dulu hasn't. And now there's Musiala, even though he had a tough game today. But we get the win. It ended up being very balanced. 10 shots to 11, 5 shots on target to 9. We had the higher XG, even with both of us getting a penalty. Had the possession. We fully deserved that win. We are huge. That is huge. We are hugely in front of now in the table. Very happy with that. That's to be a satisfying win for you. We were excellent. It was a top performance. You keep this fantastic run of form going. We'll keep it going as long as we can, but nothing. It can't last forever. Nothing can. 1 point ahead of Rangers with 2 games in hand. You can go 7 points clear at the top if we win both our games in hands. That is amazing. At this point of the season, against teams like Celtic and Rangers, who Celtics are having a little bit of an off year, but Rangers are still doing really well. And Celtic still aren't far behind. Cohn is the man of the match. Your shot stopping was particularly important in the last match. Keep it up. 9 saves by Philip Cohn. I mean, I don't understand why just like average goalkeepers are so much better than world-class goalkeepers. I've used Oblak. I've used Donnarumma. I've used Allison. I've used Ederson. None of them perform like Philip Cohn does on an average match in the Scottish Premiership. Like, I don't know if any of them have ever made 9 saves for me in a match. Mostly because I don't need to make 9 saves, but even if they did have to, like, I don't know if they would. They seem to let every shot go in, but Philip Cohn is a freaking wall back there. Amazing. Now we need to decide when to come back. You might have seen who we got in the first knockout round of the Europa League. It's Dortmund. We got Dortmund. Literally the hardest team possible. There's only one leg? I forgot the Europa League. There's only one leg now for the knockout round. And it's home, so we got the advantage there. We have a home match. I don't think I'm going to go all the way to the Dortmund match, though. We've got a little bit longer until FM22 comes out. So I think I might come back for just this Celtic match in the Premiership. Then I'll come back for Dortmund, and then we'll go back to Rangers. I think we go to Celtic. So next episode will be Celtic in the Premiership, looking to keep the advantage we've made for ourselves, take advantage of the games in hand we have, and go possibly 7 points top of the table. This season's gone better than expected, and I'm very happy. I didn't think we'd be able to do it in the second season in the Premiership, but we have. We are top. We are legitimately top. We're on a crazy winning run in the Premiership. We've lost in the third game of the season, and went on to win or draw every single game after that, going into January. Great run. That's going to be the end of the episode. If you made it this far, why don't you like the video, subscribe, and click the bell. Links to all my socials and my Twitch are in the description. I really appreciate all your support. Thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you next time.